Thanks for staying with us on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. It's time for sport, and today we're discussing fencing. Now, many of us have watched this at multi-sport events around the world, and we've watched with a lot of admiration. But the truth is, Ghana also has great potential to take part in fencing and become world beaters. Now, there's a fencing association in place, they've got regular competition, and we've got names and faces who are doing their best to get there on the international scene and make maximum impact. Of course, at the starting stages, because Ghana obviously will be learning the ropes of what the likes of Italy and others have achieved, and France and others have achieved in the sport of fencing. So here with me in the studio today are the captain of the ladies team and also the president of the Ghana Fencing Association. Now they will be, taking us further into what's been happening in fencing in the year 2018, as we've done over the last few weeks here on the show. Mohammed Mahadi is the president. Mohammed, thank you very much for your time.
Really an honor to meet you.
And of course, Kingsley Wonam is the ladies captain. How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, good to have you here.
Yeah, good.
Okay, let's quickly get into, what 2018 has looked like. Let me begin from you, Mohammed. Generally, for the year 2018, what has it been like for fencing?
Yeah, well, good afternoon, viewers. I would say 2018 was really a challenging moment for Ghana Fencing Association. But I would say it is also one of the greatest movement for the Federation. It has really taught us a great lesson, taught us indomitable spirit and commitment to what we believe in. I would say we were able, despite all the challenges, to represent the nation in the major tournaments that we were supposed to do. Out of the 4 major tournaments, we were able to do 3 out of the 4 as an association without any support from government. So that tells you that it's a great moment and a really challenging one. Yeah.
All right. We took part in 3 of the 4 international assignments. Okay, so the Junior Africa Championship in Nigeria, also another championship which was the senior version in Tunisia, and also the Junior World Championship in Italy. Tell me, which of them did you take part in?
I took part in both, the Africans in Nigeria and the one in Italy.
Okay, tell me about the journey so far for you especially. How many years have you been doing this?
I've been fencing since year 6, so about 5 years, 5 years or so. 5 years, great.
Yeah. Tell me about the technique and how easy it was for you to grasp, going forward.
So at first, I didn't do the weapons I did now, and I started with foil, but now I do saber. And so I started with foil, but then quickly learned I didn't like it. And then with the help of my coaches, and also I started saber from the help of Mr. Mahadi. So it's an easy grab, but it's really difficult as well to grasp the technique, and it's all about the coaches and how they help you, really. Okay,
great. The participation in the international competition, I'm talking about the World Championship, what are the key takeouts from there going forward?
So from that, we didn't get the support we kind of needed, and so not all of the team could come, and so really it was only me at the competition, and it was a bit underwhelming. But I think if for next year we want to go, all of the team has to go, because it is a team competition. We should all be supporting each other, and for some of them to not be able to go is not very fair. And I think all of them should be able to go with the help of the government.
Let's talk about this whole thing with government support and you being on your own, trying to get resources together. In terms of the technical bit of the sport, fencing is highly technical, just like every other sport. But what's in place in terms of getting it popularized here in Ghana and getting it, very common amongst young people so they can get attracted to it and play?
Yeah, what I would say is this is really challenging. Why am I saying so? Fencing is really an expensive sport. And then what we have been doing is
before you go ahead, tell me about a full gear, like what we see on our screen now, and what it will require in terms of cities to grab a full gear for a fencer?
Well, I would say a full gear for a fencer would cost you close to 5,000 cities.
I see.
Yep. So it tells you that it's
that's
really
$1,000.
Exactly. So this becomes very difficult as an association to be able to make fencing popularized to the Ghanaian community. But what we have been doing our part, for instance, we have secured kind of donations from the international federations that in terms of the gear, and we have actually donated quite a huge of it to about 7 regions, and this is one of the methods we've been using. And currently, that was just last week, we made a donation to the Ghana Education Service when they inculcated fencing into their sporting activity, that is the school sporting games.
Do we have the numbers to train these kids? Because once we have the equipment, we then need the technical people to train them. Do we have that capacity?
Okay, let me tell you one thing about Ghana Fencing. Ghana Fencing Association started technically because what we did was that we trained coaches. We started with training coaches at the Fencing Academy, which I built at Tuba. We also, that was last 3 years. Last year, we trained 10 sports masters at the academy, and we send them across. Next year, hopefully, we'll be doing 2 of such courses to train more coaches to make sure that we can fully equip the various schools that really want to have fencing in their institution. So I would say yes, we have the capacity because we have the academy. Myself, I'm an FIE trained level 3 coach. So with 3 also international coaches that benefited from the FIE International Coaching Academy. So we have the human resources, and then I would say we also have the facility to be able to train without depending on the sports stadium, because all our training has been done at the academy. So we have the resources to do that.
Okay. In wrapping up the conversation, what are we looking at for the year 2019? What's our major targets, competition-wise and all of that? Let me begin with you.
So I would like to take all of the team to Worlds, and last year not all of the team can make Africans, so that's first off in February.
Okay.
So I want all the teams to be able to get there, and then we can look at going to Worlds.
I see. And what's your personal target, the personal ambition for the year, for the coming year?
As many medals as possible, and yeah, probably
as many medals as possible.
Yeah.
Well, all the best with it. All the best with it. All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you so
obviously, there's still a lot to talk about. That's all time will permit us here. So we've been taking a close look at fencing. We surely are going to revisit this subject on our subsequent bulletins to see, what can be done to, support and get as many young people as possible in the schools to start, fencing. All right. So that has been Pulse here on JoyNews and Multi TV. There's more here. My name is Nathaniel Atto, and I have love for sport.